Our memories are extremely flawed. If we do not build artifacts, if we do not build certain things like videos, like objects that really point to our skill levels and the way that we were thinking and the things that we were doing, and actually where our skill levels were, if we do not build those artifacts, we will not have a perfect memory. It is very, very important to actually do this, to build those artifacts, to see how you sounded, to see the level of energy that you could bring to the table, to see what level of certainty you had in your voice. Understand that that is invaluable. Looking back 10 or 8 years ago and seeing exactly how you were thinking. It's called a diary, but in the modern world, you don't have to write it. You can just film yourself with your phone, upload it to YouTube, not even really put that much strain on your phone because you upload it and then you delete it off your phone. It is absolutely amazing. And you can do so many other things. If you're really improving into a skill, hold everything back. Have them as landmarks. Just really don't throw things away, even though you might be tempted because you're not seeing the value. But the point is that if you have the video, then you will have the quality of the perfect memory. Sure, it's not going to be extremely detailed, but you can make it. I spend about 20 to 30 minutes every single day, sometimes even an hour. This morning, I spent an hour talking to myself in the future and telling myself whatever I'm feeling today, whatever I'm doing, how I'm struggling, how I'm achieving things, what things I want, everything put together. And it is great because in the middle of doing this 1 hour, I looked back at my oldest videos from 8 years ago because I got pointed to those videos by a painting that I made 8 years ago. It's awful. I'm going to throw it away today. But the point is that looking back at that artifact, at that painting, I remember that I made a video of that painting. And I was surprised to see that it also had a voiceover. And I was talking about things. And the way that I was speaking and the way that I was expressing myself, the words that I was using, that pointed to the future that I have today. The future that I could see everything unfolding. I could see that one video that I made, probably it was the first video with a voiceover. I don't really know, but surely it was. And then I was seeing all of these steps that I had to take in order to come to the place that I'm right now, to achieve all of the things that I did, to see all of the things that I was able to accomplish just because I made that video. Not only that, but now I can look back at it and see where I was, see how I was feeling, how I was talking, how I was masking the fact that I didn't have that much, how I was just pointing to the good stuff and avoiding the bad ones. But you see, it would have been so much better if I actually started a video diary just for myself, but I didn't know that that was a possibility. It didn't cross my mind that that was a possibility. I could have done it every single day since then. And I can guarantee that my life right now would probably be 10 times better. Probably not in terms of results, but in terms of the way that I feel, in terms of the way that I feel about myself and my emotions and my thinking patterns and everything else. You have to understand that this is a huge gift that you can give yourself. Understand that these changes that you are going through, these ideas, these emotions, all of them are imperfect. They do not implant themselves into your memory perfectly. You only remember just a few percent of them. But if you go back and see them, you can start to notice certain patterns. You can start to notice certain things about yourself that you weren't able to see in those moments. Certain attributes that were really developed during these times. And understand how you ended up where you are and what worked. And once you do that, you can really double down on the things that worked and reinforce those habits, reinforce those ideas. And the more you do that, the easier it is to succeed, the easier it is to feel great about yourself, feel happy and fulfilled. It is so interesting to notice all of these things and to notice that our memories are imperfect. And if we don't build these artifacts, we will not understand how we ended up in the place that we are, where we failed and where we succeeded. We will not see the early signs of success because those things are the most important. The early signs of success are the most important things that you can actually do for yourself. To notice them is to actually become more successful. Because if you can notice early success and see what made you successful in the past, you can almost guarantee success in the future. You can borrow from all of these things that you did and build upon them faster, better, future. And that's the point. If you build a better memory, you will learn more from your past. You will be able to remember the things that are more important. And the point is that those things are not obvious in the past. When you live them, you don't know if they are important. I didn't know that 2 years later, I would make my first course, and 3 years later, I would be able to not work anymore and just become truly independent. The point is that I didn't know that back then. But because I did those things without really any reward, without really any sort of rhyme or reason, those things developed into better and better rewards, into better things. Because I was able to put myself to do those things, to really try to motivate myself to do these things in spite of no rewards and failures, actually, failing at so many other things. Those beautiful building blocks have given me so much in return. But if I didn't have those memories and I wouldn't be able to look back, I would not see that those were the things that actually made me successful. I didn't remember that I made a voiceover for that video. I was thinking that I would just put some music. I remember vaguely making some audios, but I don't really remember where I was sitting, what I was doing, when I was doing that audio. I do remember other audios later on, but I don't really remember that one. But now I have a very interesting memory, and it has really deepened my understanding of how development works and how change really happens. And that's the point. Once you understand all of these things, it's so much easier to build these artifacts, build more of them rather than less. Because maybe I have 2 or 3 or 5 artifacts from that year, or even 10, but I could have had 300, and that would have been so much better. I would have been so much happier with myself if I knew exactly how I was feeling, how I was thinking 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and the things that I was saying to myself. It would have been so much nicer to have those memories, to have a clear overview, at least as much as you can, of the things that you were feeling. Now I'm building 2, 3, 4, 5 memories each and every single day. just like that, just 5, 10, 20, 30, 70 minutes of me just talking. Sure, it might seem egocentrical, but I think that this is a gift that I can give myself, and I can point back at it and see how I was. Exactly. I can show people, look, this is what I was thinking. This is what I was doing. This is how I was living in those moments. And it is beautiful. It is nice. It is great to do so. And once you really see the power of building these artifacts, these memory artifacts, you will improve your life tremendously. And even if you don't, you will be able to look back and see how you were a year ago, a year and a half, 8 years ago, 5 years ago. It doesn't matter. You used to be so different. And now you are changed. And you can see the patterns. You can see the things that you were thinking, the emotional baggage that you had. And trust me, when I say this, it improves the way that you feel tremendously because you can see the progress that you've made. It is absolutely amazing. The level of energy and the quality of emotions that I have right now, as opposed to a year and a half ago when I started this. It is unbelievable how things can progress and how much they can progress if you have these small data points every single day of how you used to be. And you can point to them and see the huge difference that you made and a huge progress. Almost everybody wants progress, but they don't build these artifacts so that they can see and point at how much progress they have made. It doesn't feel like I made such a big progress from 8 years ago, but faced with the proof of the video and how I used to speak and what I used to say, the cadence, the attitude, the emotion behind my words, those things for me are so sincere and so obvious of how much I've improved. It is undeniable proof of the improvement that I've made. Sure, I can tell myself that I've improved, but being faced with that proof is so much better.